bonjour. Tout d'abord, je voudrais remercier tout le monde pour votre présence pour cette table ronde organisée par le Taghazout Surf Expo. Je remercie tout le monde d'être présent autour de cette table ronde pour discuter d'un sujet que je pense est très pertinent dans la région, qui est le surf et le voyage de surf. Je remercie aussi les tours opérateurs présents avec nous pour cet événement, qui sont Monsieur J.C. Leborg, Tim Hessing, Ido Minsker et Margarita. Je remercie aussi tout le monde pour être présent pour cet événement. Donc je lance cette discussion en donnant la parole aux tour opérateurs pour leur demander de nous expliquer un petit peu pourquoi ils ont décidé de vendre le Maroc comme destination surf à la base et quelles sont justement les difficultés et leurs projections pour cette destination. Monsieur Ido. So I will translate in English. Sorry for the English speaking. Most of the tour operators are English speaking. So I will try and translate in English as well. So I was saying that we thank you guys for being here around this table, for being present, for assisting to this, for being present for this event, and also for being part of the people that have made of this destination a surf destination of a big, a renowned surf destination. We would like to give you the word and tell you, let you tell us what were the difficulties you found. Why did you pick Morocco as a surf destination to sell within your portfolio of destinations? And also, what are your projections for the future for Morocco as a surf destination? I would like to give the word to Mr. Tim Hessing from UX. That is a tour operator from Germany that sells Morocco since, I would say, 10 years or more, even more, 12 years.
Yeah, you were one of our first partners.
Back in the days, so we would like to ask you why did you pick Morocco as a destination within your portfolio to start with? What were the difficulties that you have found for selling Morocco? And what are your projections for the future for selling Morocco as a surf destination? And how do you see it evaluating? How do you see it developing in order how do you see it developing in order to have how do you see it developing to be like a surf destination responding to a customer's need, which is the European surfer, for example, that is your target market? What do you think could be done from our side, Morocco, as an actor in this industry?
Yeah, thanks for having us. Really appreciate that you invited us. So I'm Tim Hessing from Luex Surf Travel. We opened doors about 12 years ago, and this was actually one of our first partners, and he helped me around here in that area. And when I started the company, I was actually focusing on the typical surf countries such as Morocco, Portugal, France, Spain, because those were the countries that I was traveling to when I was younger. We were facing difficulties to make it financially viable because booking values here in that area were just too low for an agency like ours, which takes the bookings on request. We were always facing the same challenges. People were basically consulting us, and they were asking us, like, which is the best product for us, which is the best hotel, and is it available, and how much does it cost? And then we needed to check back with the different resorts here and different camps, and we feed back the answers to the clients, and they came back to us and said, okay, yeah, but we changed our request a little bit, we are changing the dates and number of people, and then the whole email ping pong started and became very, very expensive, and it wasn't really financially viable as an agency, as a tour operator. So we concentrated more on the luxury market in Maldives or Indonesia, where booking values were rather 10,000 euros than 500 euros. And that became financially viable. But obviously the mass market for us as a tour operator is actually quite interesting. We just haven't mastered it in the past. But we have now invested a lot of money in technology, and we have built software integrations with channel managers and also with reservation systems. And this is what we are trying to make work, so that it becomes financially viable. And this is something that you guys could help us with, to educate your hotels and surf camp providers, also to use such systems that enable us to sell them in an automated way. We have built a technology that enables the client to come to our website, and they can not only book the room, but they can also add on services such as guiding and lessons and coaching, and they can really customize their packages and see availability and rates. And we would still offer them consultancy, which hotel is probably best for them, but all the questions regarding availability and rates would be solved. So this is the perspective of a tour operator, but obviously there's other aspects to it. I would say that Morocco has a lot of really good assets in terms of surfing. I mean, you have awesome waves, yeah, plenty of those. It's actually a long coastline. There's also a lot of room to spread out with all the beach breaks here and different points. It's easy to reach. Relatively easy to reach. The airport isn't too far away. It's probably one of the only real winter destinations for surfing that are within close reach. They are affordable. I mean, that's a good and a bad thing. It is very affordable here, but obviously for some people it's lacking standard or style or livelihood. Yeah, probably it's not as hip as let's say Ibiza in Portugal or Oslo in France. But yeah, it is reachable, it is affordable. You have great winter waves. It's good for beginners in the shoulder seasons. So there's a lot of really, really good things. So this is the general overview. Yeah, but probably I'd like to give the word to somebody else before I talk too much.
Thank you very much, Tim, for your intervention, and we'd like to give the word probably to Mr. Gissé, that represents the French market, which is...
I'm sorry, but I will speak in French. Hein? It's easy for me.
Avec très grand plaisir.
Tu peux me traduire? Donc, moi je développe, disons, je suis employé pour Turquoise Surf Travel depuis 22 ans, et étant surfeur à la base, le Maroc a obligatoirement fait partie des destinations qu'on devait distribuer en fait. Donc à l'époque, au tout début, sur Tamraght, il n'y avait quasiment rien à part Dynamique Loisirs. Et le problème qui m'est arrivé à un moment donné, c'est au niveau justement de l'échange entre les acteurs, donc les surf camps et la relation que nous avions, c'est qu'à un moment donné, ils ne voulaient pas donner de commission, par exemple. Donc on était obligé de prendre une sur-commission en fait sur le prix client. Ça a fait quand même perdre pas mal de chiffre d'affaires. Et ce qui a été très bien, c'est quand on a travaillé tous les deux, et je viens d'y repenser, en fait, c'est que le client ne pouvait pas réserver son séjour tout seul parce qu'en fait, il y avait trop de choses en fait. Il y avait d'un côté la partie hôtellerie et d'un autre côté la partie surf qui était à part. Donc en fait, nous on lui proposait un package, mais lui ne pouvait pas appeler l'hôtel en disant je voudrais une chambre d'hôtel, après appeler la partie surf parce qu'ils ne savaient pas où elle se trouvait. Et ça en fait, j'ai remarqué que c'était très intéressant dans le fait que le client du coup devait passer par... Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
So basically, Jean-Christophe was telling about his experience as a tour operator selling Morocco. Basically, the main issue that he found during the time he's been selling Morocco for is the parity of the prices. So the played the game and gave the same price to the tour operator as to the customers. So the tour operators do the work, the groundwork of giving visibility to the surf camp, making them available to be seen on the international market. But with the internet, communication is very easy and money is intelligent. So the customers usually contact the surf camps directly and undercut the tour operator that has done the groundwork of communication, publishing pages on magazines with Morocco, Surf Morocco, pay-per-clicks, affiliate programs, so which is a tremendous cost for the tour operators. So basically the problem that he's been facing is the price parity.
I agree. And also the more professional surf hotels become, the less they do things like this. So for standard resorts like Six Senses, Four Seasons, it's no question that they would undercut us. But the lower the quality level, the more that happens.
La deuxième partie avec quand on a travaillé ensemble du coup.
So he mentioned as well that during a certain time when we collaborated together, at the time I was managing the surf operation at Soul House, so we did the opening of the surf resort of Taghazout Bay. Back then, we made sure that there is no
the price of the product the guests themselves. If there is some problems, but when they pay 500 euros for a surf camp and 200 euros for a ticket, they just forget that a travel agency exists. Voilà.
Thank you very much, Lucky Stuff, for your overview about your experience in Morocco. Surf and Israeli.
First time I and deserted. And if you're going back to the conversation, so first of all, I do agree with my colleagues here about the problems, both in collaboration from surf camps and the technology and enhancement that we all need in able to push better Morocco as a surf destination. An example that we've been doing the last 2 years, especially when Morocco reopened, is all the suppliers we work with are working with PMS softwares, and we have user to direct it to the system. My agents can get in the system, put the booking without talking or any email ping pong. You talked about the fact that sometimes the agency or the tour operator does all the work and giving all the information about the destination, and then the client sometimes go around, which of course they can do. And I believe those kind of things and travels will always be there, because we cannot blame small businesses that want to gain more revenue. But what we can do, if you're a tour operator that produces well, you can basically try to get an exclusivity in return for commitment, some sort of a commitment back to the place, and kind of block that market and make sure you make the production yourself. I do see the development here in like segmentation. Like when I first arrived here, it was more of a budget destination, I'd say. So even if a luxury clientele would want to travel here, they would not have the option. And with the time passes, more and more better properties are opening up. And I think nowadays you have a little bit of everything. You have a budget surf camp, you have mid-range, you have luxury, you have hotels, and again, I think it goes well with what Morocco has to offer in so many ways in such a short stretch. You know, going 2 hours north to 2 hours south, there is dozens of waves, and basically if you want to experience the area, get in the car and drive with your guide to, you know, probably discover the best waves in not just in the area, but maybe in all over the world, or Europe for sure, and Africa. And that's about it. You were talking about, like, Yunus mentioned, like, talking about difficulties, advantages. market, now with the normalization of the relationship and the direct flights. And I do believe this tourism will start to go away from Taghazout with the time as well, like all the way down south to Sidi Ifni and Tifnit, and maybe the area between Aswera and Iro, Aswera and Imswan will be more and more developed. Because as you see, this is a beautiful project, but there are 10 luxury hotels, and Taghazout is pretty much the same for the last 20 years, and it doesn't have the infrastructure to support the growth. You all probably know about the wastewater problem, it's probably still there. People getting sick, so I think the government should address those issues before it wants to see more travelers. And putting ATMs in Taghazout and banks and maybe some other services. Maybe there is a how do you call it, like a medical
Hospital.
not hospital, but even a small place in Taghazout.
There is, but forgetting. So there is a hospital, not a hospital, but there is a place where you can get like first aid around. But the closest hospital, of course, is in Agadir. So in case surfing is actually a sport that can be dangerous, so the closest place if you have an issue is Agadir, which is like a 25 minutes drive from here.
So I think, again, thinking about infrastructures before the big numbers arrive, it will help everyone to be ready when it will, and it will for sure. That's on one side, and from my personal experience, we operate properties in Maldives and Sri Lanka, and here we work with selected partners, and I do believe in the next decade it will get to a place that also someone will have to intervene and make order in the lineups and in the different surf spots, because it's going to become a chaos with injuries. And again, this is something that has to be done before. In some places in the world, they can control it. For example, like a digital platform that different camps can sign in to surf different spots in different days. Example, maybe I'm taking it too far, but you go to Imswan one day and it's 500 people in the water.
Basically, the problem you are mentioning is the problem of surf patrol, which does exist elsewhere. For example, if you go and surf Hawaii, there is like a surf patrol that is making order in the lineup. I think that we are already getting to this point in some spots here in Morocco, like for example Anchor Point on a good day. If low tide is in the middle of the day, I think that there is a lot of, let's say, surf rage.
I'm the consul of Switzerland in Agadir. So welcome to Morocco. Also for me, welcome myself to Morocco. I would just like to take a little words about what did you say about the sewage and stuff, because I'm the first consulate in rural zone in Morocco and the second one in Africa. Why? I am in Taghazout Bay because also I'm in the surf industry as well. And as Swiss people, we want to do something innovative for the 100 years of diplomacy in Morocco. So I would like just to give you a little answer, because I'm really in the eco-friendly way. So no, they take care about the sewage now. So just don't be afraid about that. Taghazout, they have all the winter. They made everything possible to take away the sewage directly from the sea. You can see the pipe actually passing down the town. And they are also doing the récupération des eaux usées. So in Banana, you can see that there is a machine that they are cleaning the water, and they're using this water to watering the gardens and actually the Gulf. So I'm not here to defend the area, right? Because I'm not Moroccan, but just to arrive. Just because that's why also I'm planned to constantly doing plans to constantly here, because we know it that the future of the area was not Agadir, but was Taghazout. Otherwise, why Switzerland wouldn't then consulate? Because we have more and more Swiss tourism that hear me? Because
No.
okay. Sorry for the camera. Okay, because I hate to hear my voice in the microphone. So just to let you know that they are doing their best, and sure is Africa, north of Africa, so the things are going slowly. But it's 10 years that I'm here and I see the evolution. So sorry to cut you and to talk about this, but because it was very important before that we go forward, that really they are doing their best. And I would not say, no, in the past we didn't have this problem. We are all surfing in the same spots. But I believe that each one of us, we are really taking care, and the commune and the authority, Moroccan authority, do their best to make everything possible. Sure, it will be, I always say, between Switzerland and Morocco, we have something in common. In Switzerland, we have watches and they have the time. So let's just give them the time. Now you know why I'm the consul here. Just give them the time, and also as tour operator, I think it's very important that you involve yourself in this, you know, to give also an example. Germany, for example, our neighbors, and I know how eco-friendly and green we are, so, you know. So sorry to interrupt, but
thank you very much for your intervention, which I think is...
But it's very important also to defense, because I believe, I really believe that the area have a very big future. My country believes it, and I think we are, now it's 10 years that we are the most innovative country in the world, as you know. And sure, the surf industry in Switzerland is little, instead of, but Louis know that Swiss people booked for you, so Swiss German. Just that the area really have a potential, and they have everything until 2026. Everything will be done. You know, we done everything. Agadir highway. So I really believe that you will see something incredible, and I really think that this is the place to be now.
We all agree, I believe.
Yeah. But no worry about the sewage, you can go, you can even drink it, the water. Yeah, no, but before we have this problem. Sure. Before, we know every one of us, we were surfing in Taghazout, we know how we smell, but now we can drink, no, we can't drink the water in the sea, but we can use it more properly, so.
Thank you very much for talking about this eco and about like the problem of sewage that has actually been a problem in the past. So you can just go on TripAdvisor of the hotels and you can read that there has been a problem in the past. So since the last 3-4 years, like all the sewage has been taken care of. So Taghazout didn't have a sewage system, which it has now. So it improved a lot, and you can see it actually in the water itself, and as well you can like there is the whole development, as you mentioned, has had an eco approach, and they developed a water sewage treatment station, which is close to Banana Beach, and I think that for now the problem is actually solved, but it has also to be coming from the people. So there is an education side for the population, for the kids, mainly to implement this eco approach all the way, like, and not only related to surfing. We give the words to Madame Lamia Ramou.
Thank you.
Can I add one last thing?
Of course.
Well, we're just driving here and we put it ready for a second. They were talking about the expo, and one of the main goals was to get the community together. And I think if the tourism board will be able to share
Yes, I would like maybe also to say this thing that I used to come to Morocco about first time like 8 years ago, and there is a huge difference between Taghazout 8 years ago and now, not only in terms of how the Taghazout looks like and that it's much more clean and much more well organized, and the infrastructure is really impressive. Like comparing to the infrastructure that used to be here like 8 years ago, there was nothing. So I can see a huge difference actually that is coming here to this region. And also there is a big, big difference in terms of surf industry that I would say 8 years ago did not exist at all. It was really extremely difficult to find a surf school that was well equipped and a surf school that had teachers ready to teach. And now, actually, there is really a lot of schools that are offering a very good level of surf teaching to their clients. So I think that there is the work that is happening, like we are in the kind of process, I would say. Like this is what I can see from my perspective. I am not a travel agency or a tour operator, I am a surfer. And actually, my idea is to make people surf more. And I decided to enter my project, Make Happen It Here, because I start to perceive Morocco as a growing surf market. That's the decision that I've made. And I need to say that I do not regret it. I had amazing experience here with local communities, with owners of surf camps and surf schools here, and it is working. So I would say that we can feel encouraged as a surf community to come to Morocco. And just replying to your questions at the beginning, what made me think about Morocco as a destination, for sure, it's the warm winter that is close to Europe, because in Europe, starting with November, we don't have any place to surf. That's absolutely, like everyone who surfs knows that. We can go for some tropical travels, of course, like Indonesia or America Central, etc. But it's a long travel and it's also expensive. And here we can take a very cheap flight from Europe. We can be here in 3 or 4 hours and we can really enjoy. There is plenty of great waves. That's also, there is no doubt about that. And there are still empty lineups. That is also very crucial, because really, believe me, you are talking about Anchor Point that is fully booked. Now there's full of people surfing there, but how many people are surfing actually nowadays in the Portuguese coast? There are really hundreds of them. You know, maybe Spanish coast is still a little bit empty, but France and Portugal are completely crowded. So we have really a good opportunity here to discover. And economically it's still cheap, it's not expensive, so people can afford coming here. That's also, I think, an important factor. Probably it will be changing, because also the market is growing, so for sure prices will also rise up, and that's absolutely expectable. But still, this is not an expensive market, and which also encourage people to come, because it's economically available. The different culture, completely different culture, you know, and people, surfers mostly, they are also people who want to discover, they want to see different culture, just share it and learn from others. So I think that this is also like something that is teasing people to come to Morocco, that they will discover something that is completely different from the European world. And what more? The growing surf industry, that was like, yes, for me what is important also to invest in here. And
and I wanted to share the Moroccan hospitality and to offer surfers authentic Moroccan holidays while they are here. I wanted to talk about the Israeli market because we were very, very happy to have our first Israeli clients this week. And I was really, you know, for me, it's such a pleasure to see Israeli surfers come into the region. You know, I'm in Tamraght, in the height of Tamraght. Like, how you guys find us and come to Tamraght? So they were just wandering around in Imsouane. And then they mentioned about the difficulty of finding low-budget airlines to come here. So we know that we have Ryanair, so they explained that they have to fly to Europe to come here, and they want to bring, they're quite young, about 25 years old, and they mentioned about the people who finish military service in Israel. This could be a very good target, and also finding the budget that is corresponding to their needs to come. So it could be a perfect match. But as I just had the chance to meet Marianne from the tourism office, she mentioned that there is no Ryanair base in Israel, so something to. We would love to see more Israeli clients in the area. I think it's great for Morocco to have such a.
Just tell you one thing about it. All the low-cost companies, airline companies, don't allow you to fly surf equipment. Oh, yeah. So on one hand, it can suit a lot of beginners that come without any equipment, and you can rent them or take them to do a surfing lesson or guiding. But for people who surf and want to bring their equipment, they cannot fly in with any budget airline company. Having the inflation, the last few months or year, that you know.
He was mentioned this morning at the first roundtable, and the federation they just say they work on it, so to work.
Thank you very much. And surf equipment. I think that airlines, like for long-haul flights, like I think like you have 42 long. Is included.
A few times. Marseille, I was in a meeting with Ryan. I mentioned today also this matter. Yesterday to the tourism office of Morocco. When you go just right now on the site of Maroc, and you will see that the kite surf it's free. The surf has to be paid. So this is a really big problem, and it's really long time. Maroc make place a surfboard on their plane.
Thank you very much, Gis. Something to this, and I would say that our past generations of surfers have a little bit abused of the surf company, the airlines. You know, like surfers surf a lot, work little. So I would say that like, a lot of reclamation on a broken board that was not broken, on like let's say that the past generations have a little bit abused of the airlines. Like there is even, if you remember, British Airways banned surfboard transport for a while. Qantas, which company, airline in a country where 2 people out of 5 surf. So, well, let's say that it's not only a Moroccan problem. Of course.
Well, I'm really surprised because in 8 years of my surf travels, I have always paid for traveling with my surfboard everywhere. I think only Azores Airlines is the only company that let me go from Portugal to Azores for the surfboard. I have never heard about any single airplane company that was offering transporting surfboard for free. So this is really very surprising to me. I never heard. So maybe you could tell me something about that airline company offers.
As mentioned, like there are some like Emirates, Qatar Airways, they offer you Turkish.
Turkish is depend on the country. We have all the country and different
Yeah.
the country where we travel Malaysia.
I don't know. I used Emirates. Well, maybe it's maybe it's. But before COVID, I remember Airlines, Qatar Airlines always you need to. Maybe it depends on the destinations.
Maybe if you have an over, if you go beyond the allowance that is given by the company, I think you pay the price of the kilos that you have on top. So maybe you have the right for 2 check-in luggage, and one could be your board bag, and the other one could be your suitcase. So I think, like, I personally traveled like several times with Emirates or Qatar Airways, and there were no, like, even Turkish Airlines, like, it's for free. For a while in Morocco, like, there's been a talk that, like, in the past, actually, the Moroccan Tourism Office Board, I had the with the Department of Niche Travel, with Youssef Alem. So we worked on the surf subject, like how we could make surf travel as a niche in Morocco, and one of the subjects was actually the surfboard transport. But as I said, like it's a very tricky subject because like surfboards are very fragile, and like if you a surfboard, of course you need to put the reclamation to the company.
No, most of when it's free, you sign the discharge. Like
insurance. I mean, it's maybe another $1 per day, and there are insurances that cover it, like travel insurance. Computer, phone, and
Yeah, I think that's another problem. That's more like problem of airlines companies that the crew that is working on the airports do not pay totally, do not care too much about handling such equipment as surfboards, and in fact it happens many times that it's just wasted, right? But that's another problem, because you mentioned that it could stop surfers from traveling to Morocco because they have to pay for the transport. Right?
You can pay the direction goal and they don't pay back. Only if they lose the case, then they will come to pay you.
yeah.
Open nothing.
You can snap in two, even if you pay.
Yes, I think that they're not covering. No.
Yeah.
If I can add something.
Of course,
Yes.
Guido.
VP sales of Global Self. This is my colleague Yoav, VP operation of us. Just to make a little bit. Talk to the mic. Just to make a little bit of the order in the case and surfboard equipment and flying them. As for today, for what we know, and we do a lot of flights with surfboard to a surfing location, most of the companies, once you do stand inside the baggage allowance, and people does not, they try not to understand that their board case is their suitcase. And the problem starts when you come with a board case and a suitcase and another bag to that thing. Then they will charge. For what I know, the only company today that is extra charging for flying the cases is for the surfing destination. If I'm not mistaken, $340 round trip, extra on top of the flight ticket.
It's like a second line.
Yes. No. And with that, they don't give you second luggage. They $340 just for the opportunity that you have to send it to your surfing location. If it's Morocco, Maldives, we're doing also Sri Lanka, so we see it a lot of time. And the issue when is looking for experience. Another $340 can make him think, hey, what's going on? Can I bring myself out? Should I go to this destination? Should I find a different kind of company, or maybe a different kind of a provider that will send me there that maybe can find a solution? That's it.
Thank you very much.
Besides the language problem, I think with COVID, there's less direct flights to this area here. It's actually a problem for us because there's a lot of, you need to change flights mostly if you're coming from Middle Central Europe or Northern Europe. And that's an issue because it adds to the cost and to the inconvenience. So this is something, I don't know if you're talking to the airlines or if you have any say in that, but that would help. Sure. Yeah, to get more direct flights. And there was also one other thing, like before I came here, I was actually talking to the team that actually does the sales of this area. And I just asked them for bullet points, what they are thinking about, like Morocco. And we said there are a lot of good things about this destination. It's close to Europe, it's a winter destination, it's warm, has plenty of wave options, basically for all levels. Obviously, for different times, for different levels. It has an interesting culture which didn't come up. It's something unique. It's something this is why I also like to travel. So and emphasize that. things that they questioned. So flight connections is one thing. It is still a low-level budget destination. I don't know exactly what you want to do if you could choose, but obviously there's a lot of demand for more upper scale travel.
Which focus on surfing perhaps, right? Because you have high-end options. But
yeah, I think exactly. Or I don't know exactly what you mean, but
just in a word,
yeah.
I meant that, for example, if there are very famous or good surf spots around you, I reckon the municipality or the government should aim to have a few projects that focus on surfing around that area. Rather, for example, take Anchor Point. Okay, it would be lovely if there were like 1 or 5 surf resorts in Anchor. I mean, as a surfer, I would hate it, but for tourists, it would be great. Point if you go to boilers and etc. One of good try to have project that emphasize nature and the resources that nature gives.
Exactly, that was one point that my team also mentioned. I mean, you have 5-star resorts here, but they're not really the type of hotels surfers are looking for. It's more like the golf resort type of stuff, which is not usually what surfers are looking for. Surfers are looking for places like Noah Resort in Santa Cruz in Portugal. I don't know if you know that, or Commune Resort in Bali. So they're targeted to surfers, where basically people are super happy about. I mean, it's a little bit of a question what you want, but if the goal is to flood money into the country to develop the infrastructure also for the community, the schools, etc., then this is probably the way to develop that destination. Yeah, rather like targeted hotels, like upscale hotels for stuff. And also the whole environment is getting the feedback that people don't come to Morocco because there's no real shopping. The Catholic culture, there's no bars in a sense that Portugal has, or the restaurants that Portugal or France has. That is different. Alcohol. So I mean, a lot of travelers they're enjoying that. I know that but it is a problem that we are facing. Yeah, and it's also to develop the country. Families. Also non. Is also
I think that we can also mention this very common it's a really very, very fancy. And especially for surfers, we people freestyling. They work as they have their own projects or businesses, or they are like really working on freestyle. So they basically travel around, say for 2 months, 3 months in a part of the world and surf if they find waves. So I think personally that if you invest more in good co-workings with really high quality internet and that will allow people to stay for a long time period and work, and if they have internet and if they have a very good coffee and room, then I think they would be really open to come here for and stay in the winter time, because it's a really good option comparing to Europe in that time. So that would be also my point.
Thank you very much for mentioning this, and thank you, Tim, as well. We are very glad to see that everyone is looking at Morocco as a surf destination for different segments. Like you just mentioned, like co-working space, which is like a very in the surf industry. Nowadays, like everyone finds it's not like working away something both the employer and the so it's less fees for the employer and it's more freedom for the employee. As Tim mentioned, about he was talking about another segment which the development of the area.
Raising the bar,
Exactly.
It's not even a conflict. It's not even a conflict with digital. A lot of moments they have quite a bit of money. Also looking for the light or co-working spaces, and they are in areas. It's one of the probably.
There are many of them, also remote working, because I think that after COVID, the remote working started to be really like exploding.
Yeah.
Many companies are just allowing people to work from the out. Travel, right?
I think there's also a really good example is Bali as well. I was with my team in Bali for 2 years, and this is really a place where that grew in standard a lot. Now it's basically leading in terms of restaurants and bars and clubs and as well. A lot of digital nomads and remote work. Is in Bali because it's such a lovely place. Over 10 years ago, now accommodation hotel. I would add that as a think about traveling in the winter, digital that much because the season in Bali is but not that much in the because it's a wet season then. So I really consider my destination if they only would be sure that they work from here. I think that's something that is probably stopping them. And sometimes they are picking up destinations, for example, on Canary. I think that's also the point. From at least from my surfing point of view, and the community. Here around, right? And I think that also something that could really animate and help also Morocco a lot would be, but that's probably more the question for the Moroccans to be able to make come here big surf events, you know, include because yes, it should happen. It should have happened right last year, as far as I remember. In Portugal, having WSL 4 years ago was a game changer. The game
Cairn, the name of the town is on the border. Like all the surfing world will not. They already know a lot of them, but still, if the federation would be able to have big surf events here, I think that would. That is coming after all.
Surf event, there was already a QS 3000 that was held, which was the Taghazout Bay Pro. But it didn't happen the last couple of years because of COVID. So, as a lot of events were postponed, but I think this year in February, the WSL is coming back with probably 2 events, like an event 1,500. They're thinking about increasing the event of Anchor Point to a QS 5000, which will attract surfers because it's more points for them in the rank, and more surfers with more names will attract also audience, media. So Morocco is actually on the way of that side of surf competition. Like there is now a federation, there is a surf clubs. We have seen that there is now is doing the circuit of the so compared to the for example talking I've seen the surfing community grow. Let's say that we're on a good path, and soon like more major competitions, Challenger Series, or even the CT. Because in terms of surf potential, like waves, we are beyond like requirements. If you take waves like Safi or like I would say that Anchor Point is much like more ready to host a bigger company due to the infrastructure around it, hotels, transportation, and everything else. But also, like, why not like a CT in a remote place? Like, for example, there is always the Whitcomb Search that is held every year around the world. We can even think about like which we have as well. There is there is quite a lot of waves that are challenging, like top world where major events could be held.
Quickly, no? So in 2000, in the first QS that was held at Anchor Point, so and of course needs well it does have also it's like the QS was in February, and let's say that February is a consistent in case there is no swell, 7 days wave period, like there is always in the which was where so the first four were held at Anza, which is like we call of course. For example, if we take like there truck goes along the beach, and the site of the competition is also changing.
Maroc. So
That's why it's no contest anymore. Yeah. It's about the price you have to pay. If you can pay for it, pay for it.
let's say, thank you for bringing this up. It's actually a very good point. I think that France probably authority and have the volume of surfers. I think everyone wants to go to France and get some get their nice beach breaks. Also, well, we know now that the WSL is not
Good initiative will be to take this Surf Expo to the making a surf festival with more bands, not just and bringing artists. And seeing a lot of a lot of experiences, and that will bring much more tourism. So because at the end of the day, okay, there are the people who compete, there are the sponsors, and that's it. A tourist will come, watch it 2 hours, and go to his live music shows and art. Anything from painting, tattoos. I think that it attract a lot of people to buy tickets. It would be amazing that in the area. It would be a good opportunity to share the vibe.
Yeah. Say about of course that I work with. It was said about festival that is its own place. It's happening in Vision and Vision Festival. It's also connected to surf, but it's much more. Travelers, that's true. I would say just if we talk about like really precise that WSL at the professional would be get your point about this double understand that right because even in the host is flat, right? And then what to do? Like in Eritrea the same, we had some years that it was like worse than better, but well, I think everyone knows that. But to bring more tourists, not only surfers, and for sure this kind of event, and maybe think about Surf Expo as yes, engaging more artists from the outside. More outside Morocco, of course. Probably what I would agree with what my colleague just said.
Thank you very much. When you talked about surf festival, this way. Remember